If you don't take software serious in 2023 and just blindly expect users to jump through hoops with the excuse of, well, our software isn't the best, but we have great hardware, good luck to you. WiiM products have been heavily covered over the last couple years, and well, it's pretty obvious why. It's likely been one of the best bargain buys in hi-fi in many years. But now it's 2023, and we've had the Mini, the Pro, and now the Pro Plus. Which one of these is the current buy, and how does it fare against something like the Bluesound Node? Can Bluesound even justify the $599 price for the standard Node at this point? If you're unaware of what WiiM products do at this point, you were either incarcerated over the last few years, or you swore off digital in some cult-like ceremony. Either way, best of luck to you. The WiiM Pro Plus is a streamer that can essentially pull music from just about a billion sources at this point. Spotify, Qobuz, Tidal, Amazon Music, Pandora, TuneIn, Deezer, VTune, SoundCloud, Rune. You get the idea. And don't worry, all your connects are covered as well. Spotify Connect and Tidal Connect, as well as AirPlay 2 and Chromecast. This product, as well as all the WiiMs, are capable of preamp functions, as well as simply streaming. If you look at the front here, we have volume control, and this is actually one of the areas the Pro Plus made a jump on the previous Mini and Standard Pro. The analog input section was improved. It can now handle up to 192.24, versus the previous was fixed at 48 16-bit. So while it's not going to be the most capable preamp, it does have that line in where you could bring something in like a phono stage if you preferred, or a connection to your TV. The most likely connection from your TV though is going to be the SPDIF connection. No, we still don't have that HDMI on this one, but I for one have almost no doubt we'll eventually see it, maybe on the WiiM Pro Plus Plus Plus. To take you aside for just 5 seconds here, please consider liking and subscribing for a lot of new content on the way. We have some really exciting things coming. What makes this one special versus the other products from WiiM? Well, we have what I consider some more minor changes, like the improvements in the analog inputs, and a revised case that gives you a little bit more room for some of the larger RCAs. And then we have what is really going to make this one shine over the other models, and it's a new DAC, and it's actually pretty good. The previous iterations from WiiM almost always received the recommendation to bring in an external DAC into the loop for substantial sonic benefits. And now I can honestly tell you, this is going to be enough for most people. The new model has a AKM 4493 SAQ DAC and TI op amp for a much improved line-out audio quality. Essentially less distortion and better dynamics. While the DAC is much improved and noticeable when I compare them side by side, there's still going to be a number of people who have some really nice external DACs within their system and would still benefit from it. No problem there, the Pro Plus still offers the same digital outputs that allow you to bypass the internal DAC and connect it to an external of your liking. You might wonder why someone who has a very high-end system would even be looking at a product like this, and it's because you can easily scale this with your system. The majority of people, they won't need an external DAC, but those who like to push the limits can bring in hardware and benefit from an extremely competent piece of streaming software. I can easily say that I put the WiiM streaming software up there with the likes of Bluesound, but more on that later as we do a comparison. WiiM software is almost constantly updated with new features and improvements. They're very active in the online communities and appears they really want to continue to push these products forward. Software on a streamer should be the #1 consideration in my book when you're speccing out a new piece of hardware. If you end up buying a streamer that has all the bells and whistles, endless connections, and high-end hardware, but you can't get a reliable stream, drops and lag, or the process is just plain cumbersome, well, you're unlikely to even use it. Now let's jump right into how something like this, coming in at roughly $220, compares to the Bluesound Node at around $600. First, let's compare the controls and preamp functionality. The Bluesound has the top-mounted backlit capacitive touch with a proximity sensor, so they don't light up until your finger gets close. It's nice, and I can't deny that. We get power, volume, track controls, and presets. Now taking a look at the WiiM Pro Plus, we get similar controls, just not quite as fancy in all honesty. Volume, play, pause, and input selection. So both essentially accomplish the same thing here, with the presentation of the buttons going to the node, but where the Pro Plus sends this one into overtime is with the inclusion of a remote. The included remote covers all the normal selections, as well as presets, and adds voice control. The Bluesound Node is remote ready, but the RC1 remote comes in at $59, so it's certainly not cheap to even the playing field here. Controls is a draw for me. The Node nails it with elegant controls that have a high-end feel, but the Pro makes up for it with a remote. I would have actually gave this one to the WiiM, but the Node's saving grace was the ability to simply program any remote to control it. For example, I have my Audiolab 9000A integrated remote tied to it as well. Now onto the connections. The Bluesound comes in with a home run right off the bat. HDMI eARC. That one hits home for a lot of people who want to use this to stream as well as simply integrate into their TV. We also have the 3.5mm combination analog mini optical digital input through an adapter. Not my favorite style, but at least it offers an option. Then we have the two digital output options for bypassing the internal DAC, an optical and a coax. And USB-A for connecting to a hard drive, an Ethernet port for wired connection stability, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. Wrapping it up, there's an RCA mono subwoofer output, and a 3.5mm trigger out, as well as IR trigger in. The WiiM follows up with a full-size RCA input and output. The standard RCA input is appreciated over the 3.5mm the Node offers. No HDMI here. Our best option for TV integration is going to be through the SPDIF input. As for digital, we get the same options to bypass the DAC, an optical and a coax out. No USB or sub out on this one, or headphone output for that matter, but we do have a trigger out and a wired LAN connection to match the Node. This one has to go to the Node. They offer a lot in this category with a few notables. The HDMI and the sub out. Both of these are big and hard to deny. The headphone amp is really a wash for me. It's not something I've ever used during my ownership with the Node. Now onto a really big one, the software. As for the software, if you were to ask me what's the gold standard streaming software in 2022, I likely would have came back with Bluesound. They've been known for years to have a very polished looking product with enough features to put it in the top for most users. Fast forward back to current day, and while I still feel Bluesound still offers great software and hangs out around the podium, others have caught up and are certainly pushing to surpass them if they haven't already. The WiiM software doesn't have quite the look the Bluesound has, but what they have going for them is pure functionality that is backed up with the best support I've ran into for a streaming product. If you follow any of the forums, you can see that WiiM directly connects with users and addresses issues and upgrade requests almost alarmingly fast. Firmware updates are regular, and at the very least you can say the software is reliable, feature-rich, and at this point fulfilling almost everyone's needs. The absolute most important part of a streamer is the software. Over the past years, we've seen multiple attempts of new streamers coming to the market with piles of features and high-end connections, but they fall short on the portion of the product that is used every single time you want to stream, the software. If you don't take software serious in 2023 and just blindly expect users to jump through hoops with the excuse of, well, our software isn't the best, but we have great hardware, good luck to you. I doubt your product will make it. So I am giving this one to the WiiM, and it's close. Both offer great software. The reason WiiM gets the nod is because they accomplished it in a budget product and back it up with constant updates and support. Now finally onto the sound. This one is pretty simple, and I'm not going to deep dive into it. The WiiM Pro Plus and Bluesound Node sound very similar. I believe their DAC configurations are on par with each other. The Bluesound has a new Model X with a much improved DAC over both of these, but that's 3 times the price of the WiiM, and it's out of the question for today. End of the day, the WiiM sound quality at 220 matches or even possibly slights the output of the Node at 599, which is really incredible. While there won't be a strong recommendation to upgrade to an external DAC like previous models, the WiiM as well as the Node did and will benefit from a premium DAC. Whether your system requires it is definitely up to you at this point. So wrapping this one up, the WiiM is an undeniable value. You can get it at 3 price points depending on your needs, with the Mini, the Pro, and now the Pro Plus. I honestly feel like it's the best value you can get under $600 when you're looking at streamers. The Node still holds a strong value with its features, such as the sub-out, bass management, headphone amp, HDMI, things like that do justify its price. So what I say is if you don't need the features unique to the Node, just go with the WiiM. I don't believe you'll regret it. Sound-wise, they basically sound the same. We're really just shopping for features at this point. As always, please like and subscribe. Because of you, I can keep the products coming in and the reviews going out. Take care. See ya.